If I only had $5,000 and I had to pick one stock to trade options on, this is the one it would be and how I would trade it. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you are having a God blessed day. Today, every single person that comments down below is going to be getting our Theta Decay hit list. This is a must read for trading in times like this. So just drop a comment. I'll personally respond to you with that playbook. And while you're down there, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Today, guys, we're doing a little bit of a challenge. I know you guys absolutely love these educational pieces that I do, especially for smaller accounts. So today's was a requested one where it's like, hey, if you only have $5,000 and you could only pick one stock, what would it be, Pete? How would you structure this and how would you play this long term? Let's go over the shoulder right now. So the stock that I would pick first and foremost would be SoFi. You guys already know I am all in on SoFi, my checkings, my savings, right? You can even invest through this app. There is so many great, I'm not going to go into why I love SoFi. You probably hear a lot of people already talking about it. And I constantly say, listen, some of you are investing in SoFi and you don't even use their products. Shame on you. Shame on you. That is absolutely insane that you guys are investing in stuff and putting so much money into something that you don't even understand or don't use. That's how you get burned, guys. I'm just saying that's how you get burned, right? Go use the product. Try it out, right? It's fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. Absolutely revolutionizing banking, making our lives so much easier. Okay, so first and foremost, SoFi is the one. Here's how I would play. If I had my $5,000 just sitting right here and it's in my SoFi account, I'm ready to deploy it. Here's what I'm going to do, right? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a cash secured put position. That's basically me saying that I'm willing to buy 100 shares of SoFi for a cheaper price than it's currently trading at and collect a premium from an options buyer up front. Hit the juice button. Let's get it, right? We're going to click trade options. I'm going to click sell a put. Now, there are different strategies that we can do in terms of weeklies on individual stocks. I don't like doing them personally because me as an option seller, I don't want to trade a lot, guys. Listen, I'm trying to sit on my hands as much as possible. I'm gone are my days where I have FOMO, right? I FOMO trade and I feel like I constantly need to be doing something because everybody else is winning on the internet. Everybody's flexing their gains today. Why did I not make any trades and I lost a whole bunch of money, right? If you're like that, listen, most likely this is not the content or channel or educational stuff that I talk about here on the channel. Here, we are boring investors. We are boring investors. We do things simple, okay? We want to do things simple scales. I can't stress it enough, all right? I treat my options portfolio, guys, as a business, and there's only one purpose of a business, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Go Google it if you don't know, but you should know what the purpose of a business is. So what we're going to do is click sell a put. For this example, I'm going to go out between 30 to 45 days. I want to go to mixture of premiums. Since I'm just starting with 5K, I want to really juice those premiums up a little bit more. So I'll most likely go right on that 45-day mark to take a look at what I'm actually getting here, right? So I'm looking at these cash secured puts, right? What I'm saying here is I'm willing to buy 100 shares of SoFi in 45 days, and I'm going to be able to see what kind of premiums I'm actually going to be collecting here, right? So I'm looking at these 13 fives. They jumped out at me, and these 13. I'm going to open this one up. Delta's at 0.28, about a 28% chance of assignment, about a 70% chance of no assignment, okay? For me, I like to be a little bit more aggressive when I'm a little bit of a smaller account, right? It's a little bit more exciting, right, when you got a smaller account. So and especially if it's a company I believe in. So for me, I don't know if that's necessarily aggressive enough. I like these 0.36s. It's definitely a little bit more aggressive, but let's just take a look at these 0.30s for now. So the 13, so it's a point, we're getting $47 from the options buyer. Hit it. We're going to go to our cash secured put calculator here. We're clicking, putting 47. All my calculators are completely for free, guys, here. The point of this channel is one thing and one thing actually only. For you guys to actually go use this stuff. I can't stress it enough. Some of you guys are already smart. You're way smarter than me, and you know everything you need to know already. But what you're doing, you're just sitting on the sideline, just continuing to watch YouTube videos and watching YouTube video. Listen, there's one thing I can tell you is that you will learn way more by doing than just watching examples on YouTube, okay? So can't stress that enough. So obviously all these premiums are at the time of this recording there for educational purposes only. You see the shirt. It says results vary, all right? right? Let's get it. So we're collecting $47 in premium from the options buyer. We are putting up, right, how much collateral? We're putting up $1,300, right? Why are we putting up $1,300? It's going to tie up $1,300 because 13 times 100 is $1,300. Yes, right? We know how to do basic math. Now, me personally, I would open up multiple contracts. So what we would do here is, well, how much could we get away with? Could we get away 3? We're not going to get away with with 4 here, guys. It's going to be just over $5,000. And I know somebody's going to complain about that, but you know what? You do you, man. You do you. If you go freak out over $200, right? I might have to change this thumbnail. One of you guys, it's weighing on me because the past 2 videos I had to say this, right? One of you guys said, Pete, you're having too much fun with this. You shouldn't have so much fun in talking about finance. This is a serious subject matter. Listen, this ain't for you. This channel ain't for you. Listen, this is a boring strategy, right? What else am I supposed to do? Like, if I'm not having fun, trust me, listen, if I'm not having fun with something, I ain't gonna do it. All right. And you need to find whatever that is for you. If you can't passionately talk about a subject or whatever, you've lost that passion that you once had as a kid. Right. Listen, like you got to refine that again. Right. Like you got to refine it. What's that thing that you can get excited about? Maybe it's not this. That's why you clicked that video and spewed your crap at me. Right. But for me, listen, if I'm not having fun with something, I'm not going to stick with it. All right. So, on our $5,200, listen, we had to beg mom for $200. All right, listen, we all been there, done that. Let's get it. So we got $5,200, right? We got it. We got our 4 contracts in. That is $188 from the options buyers that we're collecting. That's giving us a 3.62% return in this educational example with a 45-day expiration. But that doesn't mean that this is what we would do. Some of you need to understand, you take things a step further. You just don't look at the numbers and just be like, okay, that's it, I'm doing it. Now, you could do that. Go do what you want. I don't care what you do, right? But what I like to do is go a little bit further, okay? A little bit further is always a good thing, all right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this. Remember, all these calculators are free, guys. You don't need to pay. You ain't got to pay nothing. You're already giving me your most valuable asset. You're already giving me your most valuable asset, and you don't even know it, right? So I'm going to, I want to give you guys everything you need to actually go use this stuff and help you out. And if these calculators help you out, fantastic. They're in the Facebook group. Join us. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to close this thing out, and then I'm going to go to the 31 days. And now what I'm going to look here is I'm going to look at a little bit less, a little bit more of an aggressive delta, and I'm going to compare it. So I got my 13s here. I'm going to look at the 13.5s now. Okay, I'm going to look at the 13.5s now, and I'm collecting now $50 in premium. Okay, I'm collecting $50 in premium. Okay, and then the 13s is only 35 compared to the 47. Right now, of course, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive because this is basically cutting the expiration date by 15 days. That's huge to get my money back or take assignment 2 weeks early. That's big. That's very, very big. So I need to account for that potential, right? I do need to, for sure, right? So I'm going to look at these 13.5s. I'm collecting $50 of premium per contract here. Let's go toss this in here. I'm collecting $50 now in premium here. My expiration date is no longer 45, right? It's no longer 45. It's 31, right? Now our collateral, right, is 1350, all right? Whoops, got to add one more 0 to the end there, right? We have to put up a little bit more money. But let's take a look at what our return actually looks like in this educational example. These numbers are constantly changing. Can't stress it enough. 3.7 compared to the 3.6, right? We could do obviously more trades throughout the year. Obviously, those numbers constantly are changing. You're not going to do that every time you'll see ROI. But look at what our annual return if we were able to do it. So for me, what I personally, what I would do with this kind of trade is I would go for the 30-day one. Because I believe if I can put up, right, an extra $50 and go beg mom for another $200, right, I will make a quicker return on the money. Right, I'll make a faster return. My collateral will be freed up, or I'll be able to take assignment instead of waiting 2 more weeks. Now, if you're absolutely strapped and you're not able to get a couple $100, right, then you would simply do your normal 45-day one or whatever expiration you want to do and just buy less contracts, okay? And then you can always go look at like cheaper stocks. I don't recommend going real cheap stocks because then that's the stuff you get burned on, right? Listen, this strategy works when you actually do this on stocks that you believe in long term. I cannot stress this enough. The reason people get burned is because they watch YouTube videos, they go into stocks, they have no idea their business model about, they don't know anything about it, and then they wonder why their portfolio shot. Listen, selling options, the odds are already a bit in our favor compared to options buyers who are kind of degenerate gamblers, right? So like, why are you doing crazy things? I don't know. Listen, do you, fam? So what's going to happen here? All right. So I'm collecting, right, this nice $200 of premium from the options buyer, right? In 31 days, a few things can happen, right? SoFi, right? If it stays above 13, let's just say it trades sideways or it shoots up to like $17, whatever it is, right? Our options contract will expire worthless and our collateral will be given back to us, right? When our collateral now is given back to us, our money, right? We now have a good chunk, a good amount more money, right? We have our $1,350 back, right? Or sorry, now we have our $5,400 back plus the $200. So essentially we have $5,600 now that we're starting the next month. Now, you can always close out your positions earlier. Let's say SoFi actually did shoot up to $15, $16, $17, your contract will pretty much be worthless at that point. You could probably pay like $5 to buy to close your position, and that way it frees up your collateral more faster to run the play on another stock. But with that said, let's just assume, listen, because I don't want to go on a crazy tangent. Listen, there's two types of option sellers. There's the one that has time, and then there's some of you that just don't. Because I read the comments. Some of you love this strategy because you're working full time, but you still love being involved in trading, but you don't have like the time to like sit and like do day trading stuff. This is a great strategy in my opinion because you can open up these trades and let them just go to expiration. And there's nothing wrong with just letting things go to expiration in my opinion, as long as you're sticking to good stocks that you love. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, right, and get to that intermediate level, that is where you want to do different kinds of strategies like rolling, closing out your positions early, looking at different opportunities, but that does require a little bit more of a time commitment. Now, it's not much by any means compared to these day traders and these Picassos of the candlesticks by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not sitting in front of my computer all day, guys. No, right? So you got to decide what bucket you fall into. I'm just going to assume you fall into bucket one, right? You're somebody that probably has a full-time job, on your lunch breaks, right? You're kind of like messing around. You might open up your puts or calls, whatever you're doing, but you're not like necessarily like looking at like price action all day long. Perfect. That's how I ran this strategy for the longest time. I just let things go to expiration. Like I didn't care, right? And it worked great. All right. So for this example, we're just going to assume you do get assigned at $13, right? Let's assume you got, SoFi in 31 days dropped to 13. Maybe it's trading around 12 or 10 or whatever, and it drops down to 13.5. Well, if it drops down to to 13.5, our money, our $5,200, right, is going to be taken from us, right? Our $5,400 is going to be taken from us, and we're going to be given 400 shares of SoFi. That 400 shares of SoFi, right? Because we had 4 contracts. So now at this point, right, we have $5,600 that we have to play with essentially, okay? So what do we do now? Well, now we then would do something called a cash secured put, okay? Selling a covered call, right? So we click now, sell a call. Right from here now, we would have a expiration date of, I would say, again, between that 30 to 45 day mark, right? Now our money is gone, right? Like our $5,400 has been taken from us, and now we have been given, right, these 400 shares of SoFi, right? So what now we want to do is potentially sell our 400 shares of SoFi at a price higher than what we bought them for, right? We buy low, sell high, ideally, right? So what did we buy them for? We bought them for $13.50 a share. Now we want to sell them for a higher price. So let's assume you bought them at $13.50 and you're going to sell them at $14.50. Now all these numbers are going to look, the covered call side is a lot more difficult to look at, guys, because these numbers are going to look completely different. So full disclosure, these numbers are going to look completely different, right, for you. But let's assume you want to sell them for $14.5. You bought them for $13.5 and you're going to sell them for $14.5. Okay, so right here, we are collecting our $66 in premium from the options buyer. We'll go to our covered call calculator. We'll put 66 right here. Our strike of the option that we're willing to sell them for is 14.5, right? Our purchase strike price now is 13.5. Our average cost, right? We bought them for 13.5 for a premium return of 4.89, right? That's 1350 times 100 and divided by the premium. Now, obviously, times all these numbers by 4, guys. So 66 times 4, that's how much premium you would get, because you would essentially open 4 contracts of it. Your purchase strike price, obviously, as well. But that gives us a really, really nice premium. Now, if we sell our shares, we'd get an extra profit of $400, right? And we're timesing everything here by 4, depending on how many contracts you did. So you get $400 in premium, okay, as well. So you would, make a decent chunk of change on that covered call side. Now, obviously, these are for example purposes only. So, but a few things can happen here as well. Let's say SoFi continues to tank for the following month. It continues to drop like a rock. It's like trading at 9. Well, your contract would expire worthless at this point, right? And your shares would be returned back to you to run the covered call strategy again. The second thing that could happen is SoFi has an insane rebound, right? It has a great recovery. It shoots up to $16. 31 days rolls around. You're going to have to sell your shares at $14.50 and lock in those gains. And then obviously you're going to get all of that money from selling your shares. And obviously you collected that premium up front. Now there's a big catch here that I want to really hit on, right? Sometimes you may be like, listen, let's say SoFi, you bought it at $13.5 and it dropped down to like $8, $7. There's going to be times where you might not even be able to do covered calls. So especially at this date range. So what you would want to do in those kind of situations, guys, is make sure you just try to go out push out your expiration date further. The further you go out on your expiration date, obviously that adds a tremendous amount more time. But in my opinion, it's better to do a cover call that's 66 days out, honestly, than just waiting around for your stock. That's just me. That's me. That might not be an ideal situation for you, but for me, if I'm just like sitting here with my SoFi that's trading sideways at like $7 in a month and I bought them for 13, listen, I'm going to go look at the covered calls for 14 that are like 60 some days out, just so I have my money at least working for me and not just sitting there dormant. Guys, don't forget, today, every single person that comments down below is going to get our Theta Decay hit list. It's an absolute must read during trading times like this. So just drop a comment. I'll personally send that back to you. Also, if you are somebody that wants a more handheld approach on how to actually learn to set up an option selling portfolio for yourself, we have a 1-year-long incubator program. And if you want to learn more about that, that link will be down below, the first link in the description of today's video. So make sure to go check that out. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, to repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.